What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Canucks news you might have missed. It's a nice one today. Lots of information, especially on Quinn Hughes. Drop a like and a sub if you guys want this. It's an episodic series we do multiple times throughout the week. So let's get it started. Prospects showcase for the Canucks. There is your roster right in front of you. Take a quick look at it. Big names we're going to be looking at, of course, is Tom Willander, Elias or Pettersson, and of course, we're going to be seeing how good Lech Karamaki is going to be. It's going to be great. And the matches, by the way, the games are going to be from Dave Hall, Saturday, September 13th at 6 p.m. in Everett. And if you want to make the trip, Sunday, September 14th at 4 p.m. in Seattle. So, and Dave Hall is going to be covering the event for Canucks Army, who, by the way, we just had David Quadrelli on our show in the last episode. So definitely check that out. We went over the whole Canucks roster, and thanks for joining us, by the way. All right, we had him here. He mentioned that Quinn Hughes talked a little bit about Elias Pettersson, and there's going to be a lot of Quinn Hughes stuff coming up, so get ready. So Hughes emphasizes for the season endured by star center Elias Pettersson, who has returned to Vancouver heavier and stronger and plenty to prove. I don't care if he came 5 pounds lighter or 5 pounds heavier, Hughes said. He's a gifted player, and we're very similar guys. I think he grew up and was really undersized and had to rely on his brain. And I think he sees the game in a special way. I'm not going to lie to you. All the nonsense last year weighed on him heavily from a personal standpoint and a professional standpoint. No one wants to deal with that. Given that, you have to find a way to perform that through that as well. But he's a really competitive person. I expect him to have a great year. I think Pettersson is going to have a great year. I've actually mentioned it many times. I think he's going to have a big bounce back. There seems to be no drama going into this season, which is nice, minus, I guess you can say, the Quinn Hughes stuff. But that's not for this season, really. We just got to get off to a really good start. Now, if halfway through the year we're struggling, then it's going to become a massive story. But it's apparently a massive story already. So this is Jack Hughes on Quinn Hughes. This is what got everybody talking. Honestly, I'm not afraid to say eventually I'll love to play with him, and whether that's in New Jersey or at the time that takes, at some point I want to play with Quinn, he said with The Athletic. This is from Pierre LeBrun. And yeah, and by the way, they're doing this Las Vegas tour with the media. That's why they're getting a lot of information on this stuff, or a lot of interviews on this stuff. But yeah, that's the question going around. They talk all day about it up in Vancouver, you know? But yeah, we still are. Apparently, this did not help. At least it's a lot of things to talk about. Quinn Hughes said, it doesn't surprise Canucks captain that it's already such a big story. Quinn Hughes said, yes and no. Obviously, Jack wasn't the first one to bring it up. In fairness to him, yes. I just think I've been fortunate to play in Vancouver because of the fans and what a special place it is, and how well you're taken care of because they love their hockey so much and care about their hockey. I think that it's normal in a Canadian market, and I feel like, especially with how much noise there was last year, people want to know what direction the team's going in. Is there a direction and whatnot? It's interesting with the fact that he mentioned the direction. This is not the first time Quinn has said, you know, he's going to just kind of wait and see how the season plays out. But I feel like it's going to be a bigger story, or it's going to be the biggest story after about halfway through the year. I don't think it is so much right now. But remember, Jim Rutherford started this fire. Oh, this is Quinn Hughes, sorry, about Jim. I don't know. Jim's a smart guy. Jim's doing, what he wants to do. I've got a lot of respect for Jim, so I'll just leave it at that. So said some nice things about Jim Rutherford there. But remember, it was Jim Rutherford who went out and he basically started the whole fire with the whole Quinn Hughes saying he wants to play with his brothers when no one was really talking about it or asking about it. Was it taken out of context? Sure, for sure, but he didn't really need to say it. So there's that. So, and by the way, back to Quinn. So I can understand why it's been brought up. I think if we had a terrific season last year and we were cup contenders, I don't think, there'd be lots of noise right now. Which is probably true. If we're winning and everything's good, there probably not less people are going to be talking about it, but people would still be bringing it up, right? Like I said, I think it's going to be a bigger story later, but there's lots of news on this today, so that's why it's kind of cooking right now, right? Presumably, when Quinn Hughes says his brother wasn't the first to bring it up, that's a reference to Jim Rutherford. We just mentioned that. The Canucks president of hockey operations. mentioned at this season's ending presser last year, and this is Greg Wyshynski, who mentioned this, mentioned at this year's ending presser last year that the elephant in the room is a possibility of all three Hughes brothers wanting to play together one day. And by the way, Luke Hughes is still not signed too. That's a really interesting part. Is he trying to line up a contract with Jack? There's a lot of little things about this that's very fascinating. So just think about that for a moment. Also, Quinn Hughes mentioned, he said about, when Jack was talking about Quinn Hughes and the whole, playing together thing. I mean, he's my brother. What's he supposed to say, first of all? Like, I don't want to play with him, but you just said it. I mean, we have contracts and whatnot. He's on a different team. Would it be fun to play with those guys at some point? Yeah, of course. I think you guys have brothers. You guys would say the same thing. Absolutely. But we do have contracts. I'm excited to be in Vancouver. And I feel like last year was a little bit of a failure. So I feel like I got things to do here. And I know Jack loves Jersey, and he has stuff to do also. A really classy, smart response by Quinn Hughes. Not surprised. Basically saying, well, of course he wants to play with his brothers one day, and he doesn't think it's too big of a deal right now. And he just said it nicely, like, of course, like he loves New Jersey as well and all that stuff, or Jack loves New Jersey and all that stuff. So honestly, this was all handled classily with Quinn Hughes, and Jack Hughes was just having a little bit of fun with it and kind of started this. But again, Jim was the one, in theory, who started this, 6 months ago or whatnot, a little bit back. So that's interesting. So Canucks news summaries, by the way, we have some news here, and this is from Satyr Shaw, if I'm not mistaken. So please forgive me. I'm trying to do this off my memory too. But he basically recapped Quinn Hughes. No one in the organization has heard Hughes say he doesn't want to be in Vancouver. That's really important. Not a foregone conclusion that he will leave. This part I find fascinating. Wonders if a shorter term deal would be considered. This is something that hasn't been talked about that much, that a shorter term deal. Of course, we want to sign Quinn to that maximum 8-year deal. But what happens if Quinn says, you know what? I'll sign the 3 or 4 more years. Will the Canucks be interested in that? Or would they prefer to just go out and trade him? I think they would be very interested one way or another. We need to get him signed. The guy's our captain. He's our leader. So that's what I think. On Atu Ratu, all players are available at the right price, not lip service when the team says they feel he can play very important minutes for the team. Weren't going to trade him unless there was a center that can play the matchup role coming back. Not looking to move him or another prospect for an imperfect fit. I don't even know why we're even talking about Atu Ratu moving. We are already short enough in center position. He's going to get himself a serious shot. It's not going to happen. Power play was too predictable last season. Yes, it really was. Miller and Pettersson didn't pass to each other last season. Yeah, we did notice that. Best power plays are willing to use each other as decoys. So I just feel like there needs to be more movement on our power play more than anything. It was static. Everybody knew where the shots were coming from, and we were just basically looking for deflections all year. I think DeBrusk had like 15 goals just from in front of the net on deflections alone. We need to be more physical on the corners and set up more plays. Don't just do the bumper shot over and over and just move the damn puck around. Like, watch teams like Vegas, watch teams like Florida, watch teams like, oh my God, like Toronto Maple Leafs even. I know they're not the best power play, but they still move the puck around. Like, move the puck around. Colorado moves the puck around. That's how you score goals. And that, guys, everybody, is Canucks news you might have missed. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. What do you think on the news today on Quinn Hughes? Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. We do this regularly. I hope you guys have a lovely day today. Adios.